Welcome back to the Friends with Benefits Car Club. Before we jump in, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share this video with your friends and family. Let's grow this channel into one of the best car stops on YouTube. Now, let's talk about BMW. There are car launches and then there are statements. The 2026 BMW iX3 feels like the latter. This isn't just another electric SUV, it's BMW planting its Neue Klasse flag in the ground and telling the world this is the future. We've all seen automakers try to reinvent themselves for the EV era, but few do it with as much swagger as BMW. And trust me, as someone who has loved and hated certain BMW design swings over the years, this debut had me both hyped and torn in equal measure. BMW's Neue Klasse isn't new. Back in the 1960s, the Neue Klasse lineup saved BMW from collapse with sporty sedans like the 1500 and 2000, cars that redefined the brand and built the DNA for everything from the 3 Series to the M3. Fast forward 60 years, and BMW is resurrecting the name to mark another turning point, the shift to electrification. The iX3 is the first production model on this platform, and it wears the history proudly. Think of it as BMW once again reinventing itself for a new generation of drivers, just as they did decades ago. Only this time, instead of carburetors and manual gearboxes, the magic words are 800-volt charging, solid digital UX, and EV first design. Now let's talk numbers. BMW is launching the iX3 with a dual motor, all-wheel drive setup good for 463 horsepower, a 0 to 60 miles per hour sprint around 4.5 seconds, and up to 400 miles of range on a full charge. Thanks to that 800-volt system, you can juice it from 10 to 80% in roughly 12 minutes on a high-speed charger. The entry price, $56,000 for the single motor X3 eDrive 40 and $64,000 for the dual motor xDrive 50. That's right in Tesla Model Y and Mercedes EQE SUV territory, but with the added weight of BMW's badge, heritage, and now a head-turning design language that really stands out. For me, this is BMW signaling that premium EVs don't need to cost 6 figures to feel futuristic and special. Step inside the iX3 and things get complicated. BMW has decided the future of driving is one massive 43-inch panoramic display tucked under the windshield, paired with a huge 17.9-inch touchscreen for good measure. No iDrive knob, no familiar tactile anchors, just sweeping digital real estate. It's bold, it's futuristic, but is it too much? For me, maybe. Screens can be dazzling in a press photo, but until you've sat in the car and seen how they integrate with your natural driving rhythm, it's hard to tell if they're genius or gimmick. For now, I'll call it interesting, not my taste. And then there's the steering wheel, or should I say, the spaceship yoke wheel hybrid with floating button pods. Look, I get the intent. Futuristic, cutting edge, distinctive. But to me, it borders on over-designed. Almost as if BMW's designers had one espresso too many. Compare it to Audi's Concept C steering wheel. Clean, sharp, minimal, and you'll see why I'm torn. Audi feels futuristic in a restrained way. BMW feels futuristic in a hold my beer way, if you get what I mean. Question for you, right off the bat. When you first saw the iX3, did it scream bold new future to you, or BMW trying a little too hard? Now, before anyone thinks I'm going soft, let me remind you, I was one of the rare voices that actually loved the oversized M3 and M4 grills. Yes, the ones the internet roasted. To me, they gave those cars exactly what they needed. Presence. A performance BMW should look mean. It should scare people when it's parked at the curb, and even more when it's flying past on the Autobahn. So, when people say BMW is over-designing, I push back. BMW knows how to build machines that feel alive, aggressive, and unapologetically bold. That's what I see in the iX3. Even if the steering and screen feel like too much, the overall Neue Klasse aesthetic is just right. This SUV doesn't fade into the background. It stands tall and demands attention, and I respect that. Are you with me on the big grille love, or did BMW go too far with the M3 and M4? Here's the bigger picture. The iX3 is just a teaser. BMW isn't only selling us an SUV, it's selling us the promise of what's next. This design language, this platform, this aesthetic, it's all going to trickle down into the cars enthusiasts like me obsess over. The electric M3, the electric M4, maybe even an electric M5. Imagine that mean grille DNA fused with Neue Klasse sharpness and electric vehicle performance. That's a recipe worth waiting for. And honestly, the iX3 makes me more excited for BMW's future than I've been in years. I can nitpick the details, sure, but the trajectory, it's inspiring. The 2026 BMW iX3 is a paradox. Part futuristic brilliance. Part, are they doing too much? Experiment. The steering wheel feels like a sci-fi prop. The panoramic display is impressive, but risks being overwhelming. And yet, step back and take in the whole car, and you see the real story. This is BMW's electric rebirth. This is Neue Klasse. And while I may raise an eyebrow at the wheel and screens, the rest of it, I love it. The presence, the stance, the potential it hints at for future M cars. BMW isn't playing it safe, and for that, they've got my respect. So here's my take. The iX3 is bold, controversial, and imperfect, but it's also a promise. Promise that BMW's future will be fast, fearless, and maybe a little unhinged, in the best way possible. And for a brand built on ultimate driving machines, that's exactly how it should be. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share it with your friends and family. Let's grow this channel into one of the best car stops on YouTube. Thanks for hanging with the Friends with Benefits Car Club. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep driving, and remember, if the car you're driving doesn't make you feel like a superhero, you're driving the wrong one.